Why should you be an accounting major? I'll talk about that in this video. My name is Katherine and I'm your accounting tutor. I help accounting majors through graduation and beyond. Before we talk about why you should be an accounting major, let's talk about what accounting even is. Accounting at its most basic level is keeping track of a business's income and expenses and generating the required reports. As a side note, accounting is really not math. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. When people hear you're an accountant, they say, oh, you must really like math. There's very little math in accounting, and what there is basic four-function math. Accounting really is logic. It's what counts as an asset, what counts as a liability, and expenses, and all those different things. As another note, income and expenses are not the same thing as cash earned and cash spent, but we'll talk about that in future videos. Accounting is the language of business. Once you understand accounting, you'll be able to understand businesses' financial reports that you're looking at for whatever reason. Maybe it's something you want to invest in, maybe you just want to learn more about it. Understanding accounting will really help you to understand any business because it's the common denominator across all businesses. Everybody has to use accounting. Accounting applies also to you personally, and I think that's very important and isn't discussed enough. There are so many accountants that I know that go and they do their job in the day, helping businesses with their income, keeping track of their income and expenses and coming up with their net income. And then they go home and it's like they completely forget everything that they've been doing all day and everything that they learned. And their personal business is losing money. They have more expenses than they do income, or they're just not keeping a very close eye on it and they don't know where it's going and they're not able to reach their goals in other dimensions. So I think it's also really important to mention that accounting applies to you personally also. Now that we've talked about what accounting is, we'll talk about why you should be an accounting major. First of all, there's a shortage of accountants. According to the AICPA, about 75% of CPAs are of retirement age as of 2020, which is a wild number. And it means that in the coming years, there will be fewer and fewer CPAs to actually do the work of accountants. And, we all took economics. Well, actually, if you didn't take economics, as the supply of something goes down, then the demand for that thing goes up, and the prices that people are willing to pay also go up. So as more accountants leave the profession, there will be more room for new people to come in and earn those higher salaries. Speaking of salaries, we all want to know, how much do accountants get paid? Accountants actually get paid above the average income. The average on Glassdoor when I looked was about $75,000 a year. And that's probably after a few years of experience. You're not going to enter in at that salary. But in general, the average income for a household in the US is something like $55,000 or $60,000. And so to be able to earn by yourself more than that really, it plays into how valuable an accounting degree is. Another reason why you should be an accounting major is to be able to understand the language of business. And as we've talked about, every business needs accountants. And so you have huge flexibility in the industry that you work in. A lot of times in accounting programs, they just talk about working in public accounting at a CPA firm doing either tax or audit. There's a whole nother world out there for accountants. If any industry that you like or that you're interested in, they have accountants. So the movie industry, the music industry, professional sports, all of these things, they have accountants on staff. And so becoming an accountant is a great way for you to be able to work in those industries, even if you don't necessarily have the skills to be, let's say, on the other side of the camera. You really love movies, but you don't necessarily want to be an actress. If you're an accountant, you could potentially get a job working in the film industry or in any other industry that you want to and is interesting to you. And also, it allows you a great flexibility to be able to change your mind. You might come in thinking, oh, I love the movie industry so much, I'd love to work there. But maybe you do get some kind of internship or you get to work there, and then you discover, hey, actually, this isn't for me, this industry. I don't really want to be an accountant for the film industry. You can change to being an accountant for the sports industry or healthcare or real estate or really anything that you want. It's super easy to switch between industries because the skills of accounting transfer so smoothly from one to the other. There are always going to be small differences in things that are important to different industries and kind of, the quirks of how they work, but the skills of accounting are really transferable in general. As they say, there are only two things that are certain in life, death and taxes. Being an accountant has great job security because people are always going to need help, whether it be taxes or just keeping track of the income and expenses for their business. Being an accountant is a great way to help them with that and tons of job security. That's it for today. I hope I've convinced you to be an accounting major, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.